here in the anchor chair. I do want to talk about some breaking news as the FBI is releasing a massive amount of files. This relating to Martin Luther King Jr. I want to put up a post here on social media of the new information saying the Trump administration releasing these FBI records on MLK Jr. as they release these on the surveillance of the civil rights leader despite opposition from his family. And of course, leading up to his assassination in 1968. So this is a major development we're following closely here on Live Now from Fox relating to us, as the release involves more than 240,000 pages of records that have been under a court-ordered seal since 1977, when the FBI first gathered the records and turned them over to the National Archives and Records Administration. So, of course, for more on this, we're going to continue on as King's family, including his two living children, Martin III and Bernice, were given advance notice of the release and had their own teams reviewing the records ahead of the public disclosure. In a lengthy statement released on Monday, the two living King children called their father's case, quote, captivating public curiosity for decades, but the pair emphasized the personal nature of the matter and urged that these files must be reviewed within their full historical context. They go on to say, as the children of Dr. King and Miss Coretta Scott King, his tragic death had been an intensely personal grief, a devastating loss for his wife, children, and granddaughter he never met, an absence our family has endured for over 57 years. So, of course, a major news in terms of this here is I do want to give you more information as the President Donald Trump promised as a candidate to release files related to President John F. Kennedy's 1963 assassination. When Trump took office in January, he signed an executive order declassifying the JFK files along with those associated with Robert F. Kennedy and the King's 1968 assassination. The government unsealed the JFK files in March and disclosed some RFK files in April. Besides fulfilling the intent of his January executive order, the latest release serves as another alternative headline for Trump as he tries to mollify supporters' anger over his administration's handling of records concerning the sex trafficking investigation of Jeffrey Epstein. The King's records, meanwhile, were initially intended to be sealed until 2027, until the Justice Department attorneys asked a federal judge to lift the seal order ahead of its expiration dates. Scholars, history buffs, and journalists have been preparing to study the documents to find new information about his assassination on April the 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which King founded in 1957 as a civil rights movement blossomed, opposed the release. They, along with King's family, argued the FBI illegally surveilled King and the civil rights figures, tapping their office and phone lines with the aim of discrediting them and their movement. I'm Andy Mack. We're back after this.
All right, guys.
We have
he
said the King file will take the eye off the Jeffrey Epstein's files, which is, kind of clear that, after the Jeffrey Epstein's files, they put the Martin Luther King files out. But hey, you guys will hear from us. So go ahead, Ronnie. What's your take on, since Trump didn't took off the Epstein's files, he hurried up and pushed out the Martin Luther King files. So what's your take on this?
What you doing? I think they're doing this as a distraction to get people away from the Epstein file. However, the liberal network, liberal news are continuing to demand Trump to release the Epstein file. Like I already stated last week, that file will never be disclosed because there's too many high-power elite that was actually present at the Epstein party. So, therefore, the file will never be released. I'm sorry. Now, when it came to aspect of Martin Luther King, I think it is a very disrespectful because the simple fact is the family didn't want that information to be disclosed until they was able to review it first. Then, when they felt it was coming for them to release it, then go ahead and release it. But the Trump administration team just went ahead and released it. And I think that was a fail on their part. To me, I think they should have let both things alone. Martin Luther King situation, I think everybody kind of knew that there was some form of legal involvement when it came to the aspect of Martin Luther King assassination. So everybody knew the truth. But the Epstein file, that's the one people want. That's the one I want. Give me that file and let me know who was actually in it. Go ahead, King.
I look at this
from a point of what's in the dark has to be in the light. Everything.
Yes.
So can't wait till they release Roswell files. I want to know if there was real aliens over there. So knowing the assassination of Martin Luther King has been troubled a lot of us who grew up as kids. Now we're adults. We will learn this, and I can't wait for the deep dives. You're right, D Degenerate, the Malcolm X files. I can't wait for the deep dives that a lot of YouTube channels are going to do on these files. You know what I mean? It's 100 and something pages. So maybe I'm going to try to read it and go over it.
But how can we already know the truth? The FBI took him out. We already know.
You know what I mean? So,
Hoover and them, come on.
R.P. King.
Yeah. It's I'm sorry. It contains.
Hold on, Jordan messed up again. Yeah, but then you might be right. Malcolm X might be next, but you never know.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, when I read it, sure, but a lot of people want to know about the Epstein files. We hear a lot of MAGA groups, are really like, trying to turn it against Trump when it comes to, Epstein's files of, not him releasing it and everything. But these files will, maybe the next president, he probably can do it. But when it comes to Trump and everything, he said he was going to do it, but now, he's closer to releasing these files with the Epstein and also the Martin Luther King. I think it was definitely more easy for him to put the Martin Luther King's files. I think it is kind of disrespectful and I ask for the family before you do something like this. But Trump, he's the president. He's gonna do what he want to do. But I think with these files, I think a lot of MAGA people, they even though he put out Martin Luther King's file, they still gonna be upset. I was like, okay, that's fine, but why not these Epstein files and everything? Because I was very shocked how a lot of MAGA really turn on. A lot of MAGA people that I know they're like love Trump, they definitely turn on him because of Epstein's files because they think Donald Trump is playing mind games on them and also people in America as well. So, yeah, I'll definitely look at these files. Do my research and everything, see what's up and everything. But for me, okay, the Martin Luther King files is out, but I still want to know what the Epstein files. Even though I know it's not coming out, I still want to know who names are on the Epstein files.